Welcome out. Jesus, I can't even talk. Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 153. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. If you're watching the video version, you can see we've got an entire crew on tonight. So you know what? We'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw out the opening question. We'll just kind of go around and we can introduce ourselves as we're going along. And I can't talk tonight. It's gonna be interesting. Our opening question is: what is something your parents like that you do not? I'll start real quick just so that everyone has a second to kind of think about it. Something that my parents like that I do not. I was mainly more so thinking about growing up, but if I were going to talk about even right now, like my mom loves puzzles. She loves doing puzzles. Granny likes doing puzzles, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Every time we're at her house, there's either a big puzzle or a box.
Yes. So definitely puzzles definitely falls under that. Like I can sit down and maybe, do a little bit. And I guess maybe if it was a puzzle I was really into, I might be interested. But for the most part, the idea of just sitting down and putting a puzzle together is like, no bueno. That's not happening. So, well, since he's already chimed in, Alex, my son Alex, what is something that Daddy's into that you're not?
Roblox.
No, I'm not into Roblox. You're into Roblox.
Oh, I thought you meant by us or into it.
No, what is something that mommy or daddy is into that you're not into, that you don't like?
I gotta think.
You got to think. What about your brother, Nick? Is there anything?
Do you both like Yellowstone?
No, that's mommy's show.
Oh. I gotta think. I don't know.
Well, there's some TV shows, right?
Yes.
Jocks?
That's something you like that mommy.
Something that
You're thinking the
like.
other way around. It's a great start. Okay, so wait. My boys, Nick and Alex, are here. They are twins, believe it or not. And yes, the one does look like a clone of me. But anyway, we're having the kids on tonight, so it's going to be a fun time. We'll move on to Shaun. Shaun, what is something that your parents are into that you are not?
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that my parents aren't going to be watching this, so I'll be able to tell the truth.
Okay.
Christian music. All forms of Christian music. And I had to be careful with that because my father's in a Christian rock band. So, but nope, can't. He oh, listen to this. This is my new one. I'm like, oh, great. So, but Catherine, he is not allowed listening to this, so don't go advertising it.
Oh yeah,
right.
No problem. I won't. Whenever we post it, I won't tag you on it. I promise.
Yeah, probably.
Joining us is your daughter, Catherine. Catherine, what is something that your parents are into that you're just not feeling it?
Really old, like black and white movies.
Fair enough.
I agree with that. I do not like black and white movies.
Yeah.
Really? How many black and white movies have I made y'all watch?
Not many.
Exactly.
The only one I think I saw was The Walking Dead.
No, that wasn't The Walking Dead. That was
Night of the
Night
Living
of
Dead.
Yes, and you liked that, so that one doesn't count. Anyway, so black and white movies, not feeling it, huh?
No.
Gotcha. Is it just because they're slower paced, or?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going nowhere.
Yeah, sometimes that's the case. So.
She doesn't like Bing Crosby? Like, come on.
No.
It's Bing!
I don't really like
Alex. Just a second, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, so moving on. Chris, what is something that you're into or your parents were into that you're just not feeling?
My mom got really into gardening when I was a teenager.
She still is.
She still very much is. And I want to be, but I suck at it and I just don't care enough. And then my dad's a big sports guy. He just loves watching like any kind of sports and I can't. Again, I don't care.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Logan?
She wrote them down.
Oh, nice. She's prepared.
Fun of everything. So this is going to make you mad.
Is it though?
Well, I talk about it a lot. Harry Potter.
I ruined it.
Really? You're not feeling the Harry Potter, huh?
No,
I agree with that.
No.
only because I've seen it so many times that I can probably look at one specific scene in like the 6th movie and know it's from the 6th movie and like can say what scene it is and like say all of the parts of it. I've seen every single movie so many times.
I'm not sorry about this. I'm not.
No, but it's an unnecessary amount of times.
Gotcha. Quinn, what's something your parents are into? You're just not feeling it.
Go ahead, babe.
Twilight.
Twilight.
That's a running joke.
It is a running. Yes.
What? What?
It's on Netflix,
Twilight.
and you get bored, and you watch it just because it makes
Ooh.
kids cringe.
That was your birthday
That was
celebration
my
every year.
Because the movie's timed out to be on
Yeah.
my birthday, and it was.
I remember going to seeing like all of them with you guys.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good time. But we just
Yeah,
put them on out to bug them because.
Yeah, they're very cringy.
A little bit.
But cringy.
Memeable but cringy, yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
What does cringy mean?
What does cringy mean? Just like, okay, you know, like whenever something embarrassing happens on a movie or TV show, and y'all go, "Ew," that's cringy.
Okay, but
Got
I've
it.
seen a lot of it.
A lot of cringy things. Okay. Oh Lord. All right. So the reason why we have everyone on tonight is we threw out the idea. We were recording the Marginally Geeky show. Chris and I were with Jennifer, and we brought up parenting to some extent. I don't even remember exactly how we got started on the topic.
It was about the climate crisis, what it's like to raise children during this.
That's
whole
what it
climate
was.
Issue, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of morphed into how do you raise a kid as a geek, and I was like,
Yeah.
that'd be a good topic, and so here we are. So originally, I was going to have just the original crew on, and someone threw out the idea. Well, I think one of the kids will be on. That would be awesome. That we could ask them, and now we've got everyone's got their offspring on, so it should be a fun episode. So let's see. The first question I was going to throw out there is things that you've shared that you've loved. Like, what are some things that you have shared with your kids, and you both ended up loving them? Would anyone like to go first? Okay, fine. We'll go first. All right. So, what is some stuff that mommy and daddy have shared with y'all that y'all have ended up liking? Nick.
Star Wars.
Yes. But that falls into another category as well. We'll talk about, right?
Yes.
Yes. What's some other things that we've watched or done together that we've all liked?
Voltron, Transformers.
Okay, so what is it? Which Voltron did we watch? Did we watch the original or did we watch the newer one?
I think the newer one.
The newer one? Yeah, it was the newer one on Netflix.
I don't know what the older one looked like.
I don't think I ever showed you the older one, probably because you would make fun of it.
I can't.
It'd probably be really funny looking at it now.
It would be very funny
remember
looking.
one of them. I can't remember.
Well, let's talk about some. Okay, what are some other things that we've shared? Let's see. Transformers. We've enjoyed that, right? Yeah. Star Wars, like I said. What is most of the stuff staying, in Daddy's office?
Ghostbusters.
And y'all have enjoyed that, right?
Yes.
And I just remembered the
What?
Lord of the Rings.
That's right. We're watching those right now, right?
Yes, we're finishing the third one.
What do you remember? What the third one's called?
No.
The Return of the King, and the second one is the Two Towers, and the first one I forgot.
Very good. I'm surprised you knew both of those actually. So, who's your favorite character so far?
Gandalf.
I would say Sam.
Good picks. So those are definitely some things that we've enjoyed together, right?
Yes.
Did some of them you weren't sure? Was there anything that you weren't sure about? You started watching it and you were like, I don't know about this, Dad, and then you ended up thinking it was really cool.
Yeah. It was the start of the Lord of the Rings. It just looked like it was just gonna be a lot of talking and nothing, just talking.
At first, I didn't really
And-
like Sam.
Same. I didn't really like the start, in my opinion.
So it too slow.
Yes, it was way too slow. It was
I
like
don't-
slowing like a turtle.
Had too many talking.
Too much talking, because that tends to be a problem with the movies. Is there's a lot of talking, even in the action movies, even in the superhero stuff. A lot of
Sam
talking.
was a lot better in the Goonies.
I
Yes.
really like. I like more action.
We haven't watched that yet.
Mm.
No, they're perfect age.
They are. Yes.
In fact, once we finish the Lord of the Rings, we're probably moving on to some single shot movies, and that's definitely going to be on the list. So,
What's a single shot movie?
something like Goonies. It's just one movie. There's not like sequels or anything.
Oh, like.
Like Goonies, like I just said.
Oh, okay.
Did you say Goomies?
Goonies. We'll talk about later. All right.
Goonies?
All right. Shaun and Catherine, what's some stuff that y'all have shared that y'all have enjoyed?
Go ahead, Catherine.
Star Trek, most things sci-fi, Marvel, love Marvel, just like the love of movies and TV shows.
Nice.
Catherine's my big one. I actually have two other brood,
Mm-hmm.
but one's doing the Dungeon Master thing in Dungeons and Dragons right now, so he couldn't be on. So super geeky there. And
Yeah.
my youngest Willie, he's actually killing a whole bunch of people in his computer games right now. So
Okay.
I think he's in a tournament. So
Yeah,
Catherine,
I can hear them.
So what all Star Trek? Okay, when did you introduce Star Trek? That's a first question.
I was like grade 2, grade
Wow,
3,
that young?
probably.
Well,
We always talked about it because
what's your name, Catherine?
Catherine Jane,
Nice.
And then your brothers?
Patrick Stewart, and William Riker.
So at a very early age, they knew what Star Trek was. Now, Catherine
Watched all of it.
was the one of my children that watched every Star Trek episode ever produced.
Willie fell asleep.
Yeah, Willie fell asleep and Patrick
Patrick
wasn't always there. And that includes the animated, like the original
No, I didn't
animated.
I didn't watch the animated. I watched the original, but I haven't watched the animated.
I thought you watched the anime with me. It was
No,
hard.
you watched it by yourself because nobody would watch it with
I
you.
don't blame you. It sucked. But yeah, and even to this day, we're watching Prodigy right now and Discovery, and can't wait for Picard season 2.
No.
And then yeah, you're into Marvel. You're the one of my kids that I can have a coherent conversation with about everything Marvel.
I think we've confused everybody else at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So I remember you saying, we were talking about on a previous episode, Catherine, you're not just watching the movies, like you're fully invested, like you're going and doing the research and getting how everything connects and how all this other stuff, and right?
I have a list.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't really see it, but yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
as long as you've got a list, I'm good.
You're going through what?
The
now?
Netflix series is.
Cool.
So yeah, you're on season 2 of Daredevil.
Yep. Which is only the second thing in the list.
So there you go.
I've seen, I think, all the Marvel movies at this point. Well, we're working on Blade.
Oh, wow. So you're going back and doing those even.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. All right. So, Chris?
What do you think?
What do I think? Okay, so what do I think that Dad and I've shared that you guys like? Some of the MCU, you and I sort of have similar likes of the MCU.
Dad, you can chime in.
What?
3 Men and a Little Baby.
3
3
Men
men and a baby, not a little baby.
3 Men and a Baby. What else, babe?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. The other one that we watched that I was surprised was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Thank you, Bill and Ted.
So the MCU, you really like the MCU.
This
what else?
is more of my granddad, but also a little bit of my dad. Rock.
Yeah, metal music specifically.
Nice.
It slowly weirded me down, and I'm like 40. Just kind of like, I like it now.
Yeah, but I think like a lot of squirrels in the house today.
Oh, okay.
So I think I think in general, like Catherine was saying, just a love of movies and television shows and just experiencing that kind of entertainment. Going to the movie theater is a big one for us. We like to do that. But yeah, MCU. Just trying to think what else we like to watch together.
Disney movies.
Oh, and Disney movies. Yes, Disney movies.
Nice.
Emperor's
Yeah.
New Groove.
Yes, Disney
Yeah,
movies.
like
All of them, like back catalog
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah, those are big here.
Those tend to hold up. So
Some of them do. Some of them, like one of our favorites is Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, that one's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Highly underrated. Yes.
Song of the South.
I think that's it's not a lot. What, Sean?
he said
Song of the South. You're big on that one too.
Which one?
Song of the South.
No.
Not that far.
It was a good ride.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that the ride still had all of the characters and stuff in it. Like when Lainey was explaining it, I was like, "How did that fly?" But
yeah. But it's not that we're very different people. It's just the stuff that we like and we try to show them. It's either like it's a shot in the dark, whether they like it or not. Ghostbusters. That's the other thing that and Back to the Future.
good deal.
Yes.
Yes. But they can get pretty annoying at times. Just because of him repeatedly putting it on and on and on during the early years.
We call it whale song here when we need something like
Mhm.
nostalgic like that. We call it whale song from that Simpsons episode.
Nice.
Where, Marge's college professor boyfriend was having a freak out, and he's like, "I need whale song." So that's what we call it.
I'm going to change up the script just a little bit here, and I'm going to run through the rest of the questions with these two because I think they're dying sitting here. No, I think you're both dying at this point. So anyway, so we're going to run through them real quick with y'all too. So just give me a moment here. Let's see here. So the next question was, and this way y'all can hear the rest of the questions and start thinking about them. Things that I've shared that y'all didn't really care for. All right, so Star Wars was one of those things that y'all didn't like at first.
Then we liked it.
Why did you not like it at first?
It was so loud and scary.
Okay, I'll be honest. I almost ruined Star Wars for them, but because I was so afraid their older cousin is super into Star Wars, or at least was at the time, and I was so afraid he was going to ruin everything with it. Like I'm just like he's gonna sit down and tell him exactly who Vader is and this, that, and the other, and I was just like I cannot allow that to happen. So I was specifically like, oh no, I've got to go ahead and show them. And yeah, they were maybe a little young. It was probably a little on the scary side, but y'all ended up liking it though, right?
Yeah.
Jaws wasn't scary.
And yet this one wanted to watch Jaws, and it's like one of his favorite movies. In fact, you want to watch the sequels, don't you, Nick?
Yes, and you say they're terrible. I just don't want to watch Jaws 3D. That's the worst one in my opinion.
You haven't seen them, so you don't know.
I haven't seen them, but I've seen trailers of them, and the shark in Jaws 3D looks terrible.
They're all terrible,
No, they're not.
including the first one. But something
Hey.
that didn't hit. Do y'all remember watching E.T.?
Yes.
Yes.
It was. At the end, it was kind of sad, but some of the parts, the alien looks super weird.
No heart. They just sat there the whole time going, all right, he's dead. So what? Now what? Is this the end of the movie? And I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
I still wonder, can his finger become a flashlight?
Technically, yes. You know he's technically in Star Wars, right?
Oh yeah, he's an alien.
I don't remember. Wait, what?
Okay, we'll go back and rewatch it sometime. All right. Let's see here. I wanted to bring up how we play differently. When Daddy was little, there were video games. It was like the Nintendo and the Game Boy, but mainly he played with action figures a lot. Like I had a lot of Transformers. I had a lot of Legos, and I played with those. But how do y'all mostly play?
We
On
host
iPad.
on an iPad or any electronics.
Mm-hmm.
If I get bored of my iPad, I go to my VR. If I'm bored of my VR, I go back to my iPad. If I'm bored playing games, I just watch YouTube all day.
When I get bored of my iPad, I either play the games on the computer that I have, or just watch TV, or I ask my mom and dad if I'm able to go out.
So you do go outside some.
Yes, because me and Nick have
Yes.
gone outside.
Yes.
The snow wasn't really the
Yes.
ice wasn't fun. Like if you tried to slide down, you would only go like 3 inches,
Right. There wasn't enough snow and ice to sled, huh?
and someone would have to push you until you got to the bottom. You wouldn't even reach like anywhere.
True. But y'all aren't big action figures people.
No,
Which-
we're more of a
Kills me.
video game person.
Kills me. Let's see here. This is how we played. So we've had this talk before about how were Daddy and Mommy able to just watch whatever we wanted whenever we wanted?
No,
No.
How did we have to watch it?
y'all had to watch it either when y'all had work at home, like when you had to sit down and do work at home. You could sometimes look up and see the movie.
But like, could I watch whatever I wanted whenever I wanted?
No, it's because some of the things you watch we can't watch, and you usually do it when we're in bed thinking of nightmares.
No. Nightmares. No, I'm talking about like when I was little. I didn't have iPads or YouTube or anything like that. Like I had to watch things when they came on, and if I missed it, I missed it.
Didn't YouTube come on in 2007?
I think so. How do you know that?
YouTube.
It's a
Lord.
guess.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Oh, it was a guess. I almost thought for sure you knew that somehow or another. Jeez. So what are some things that we do like doing together?
We like watching movies. Some movies I wasn't really a fan of the Marvel, but anyway, we like to watch movies. We like to play video games.
Well, what video games do we play?
Like-
Minecraft,
Right.
Scott Pilgrim, Mario,
We haven't really played Mario in a very long time.
Yeah, we haven't played Mario Kart in a while.
Super Smash Bros.
Haven't played that in a while. So
Me and Nick have played those.
yeah. So we do some fun stuff together. Do y'all like going to the movies with Daddy?
Yes.
Yes, one of the reasons why I like going to the movies is because I get to eat popcorn.
Also, I just hate going to the movies at the start. It's because how long of all the ads there is.
Okay, to be fair, the last time we went to the movie theater, we went and watched Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I swear they showed every single trailer that was currently out. Like we were there for 25 minutes before the movie started. It was ridiculous. And I kept looking at the guys going, "I'm sorry. This is not right." And then what are some things that y'all are into that Daddy and Mommy are not?
Roblox.
Why?
It's because we always play it, and you always say it's not fun or anything. You know, we keep asking you.
Kicking ice. I like kicking ice.
Kicking ice.
Yes, this morning at Walmart.
Oh,
Kicking
so
ice.
that's something you do normally
I like to
in
kick.
Texas?
No, kick ice when it's freezing.
Okay, he is saying ice, by the way. I'm just making sure y'all know that. So definitely, playing Roblox, that's a big one.
And playing Gun Raiders on my VR. You have never played it.
You're right, I haven't, but what is that I do play on your VR?
You play Beat Saber.
Which is awesome.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I am glad y'all joined me. I'm glad we got to talk to y'all. I guess I'm going to let you go at 7:40. Tell you what, y'all have 20 minutes and then go get in the shower, okay?
Sure.
All right. Y'all want to say goodnight to everyone?
Good night.
Yes, good night.
Night,
All right.
guys.
Good
Good night.
night.
Yep, you just leave them right there.
And they're out.
You've got 20 minutes.
Dirty.
You're fine.
That was awesome.
Was it awesome?
Dad, look at Dad.
Shh, the microphone. Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let me turn down this other mic. Like, literally, I'm like, Nick, why are you down? What are you doing? I knew this was going to happen. I mean, okay, so not to keep talking without anyone else getting a word in. That's one of the biggest problems that I've run into is at what age, like Catherine, you said you've been watching stuff with your dad forever, even since you were really young.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like it's just kind of
Hold on, Eugene.
okay.
Catherine is probably not a great example to set your bar to. She was 30 years old when she was 3 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Well, that's kind of what I'm leading into. Like, I'm almost wondering if they're not movie watchers. Like, they'll watch a few things with me. That's one of the main reasons I do like to go to the movie theater with them, because they have to be quiet. There's no that you cannot jump out and go to get your iPad. You can't jump out and go to, like, this is it. There's one thing. It's on the screen. You got popcorn in front of you. You're good. You're set. But like when we're watching stuff at home, they get antsy, and I'm just like, it's the big battle at the end of Endgame. This is like the biggest thing ever.
It is.
And you're like, how much longer, Dad? I just want to. Anyway, so we just throw that out there. Like you said, Catherine's not a good judge of this because she's an old soul. We'll put it that way. What about your boys? Are they movie watchers, or is it something that they just had to get to a certain age before they became movie watchers?
Them to watch, but
KJ, you answer this one.
we ask them to watch, but they don't have to. So like they decide if they want to watch the movie. We tell them what it is beforehand, and a lot of it, like a few times, it's ended up just being me and the parents. But yeah, it depends on the movie. But usually we'll sit through the whole thing with like a break, usually for Mom.
Gotcha.
But
as for the kids, so like Willie will sometimes watch the movie.
Usually he plays with his friends.
If there's popcorn involved.
Yeah, if there's food involved, he'll watch.
Catherine and I had this little discussion actually as your boys were talking, and I think Willie would get along famously with them because they've
got like the same
wavelength.
Gotcha.
Patrick, he didn't really have the attention span for the movie. He would sit there even from a young age for the movies and just kind of, you could tell he would zone out, but he was too polite to get up and wander off or anything. And we don't want to force it on them.
Right.
So 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'm gonna get to something here in a minute. Remind you about that. Chris and Logan and Quinn. So, like, have y'all always watched movies together? Or was it a thing that you just had to hit an age and all of a sudden it was like, okay?
What do you think?
There was never really a chance to say no. It was just like.
Okay,
so I will say that Logan
Grounded.
went through a massive princess phase from the ages of 3 to 6. And I can't count how many times I've seen Enchanted or Cinderella or any of that kind of stuff, because it would be playing because where our living room was set up, you could see the TV from the playroom. So she'd get dressed up and it was a whole production. And she would be in, but she would know the movie. So if it's movies that she liked and was interested in, and often those movies aren't as long as, like full-length feature movies. They would be like, and the Tinkerbell movies. We got into that. So there was that. But I think we started with TV shows, really. Did we start with TV shows, or was it just always movies?
I don't remember.
We don't remember. They might have not had as much. Quinn was a lot different.
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, Yogi Bear. And Yogi Bear, because of that metal scene, like in the middle where there's like that, where he's water skiing and they're playing that like 80s metal song. That's why. And he likes a lot of slapstick when he was younger. But Quinn in the movies, I don't think we could get you to sit in the movies until you were like 6 or 7, maybe even later. Because a lot of it was a sensory overload, and then or it was too scary, or it was like jump scares and stuff like that. Even with like Kung Fu Panda, I think we had to leave a lot. Minions too. That was a mistake. But I don't know.
When I look back at it, I'm like, why was I scared of that?
It'd be the weirdest things that you'd be scared. One thing it wouldn't be, and then we think, okay, well that's similar, and then that was a no-go. So it was just a lot of trial and error. But I think it was, they didn't have but we just played it. And if they wanted to leave, they could leave. And if they wanted to sit, they could sit. But I don't think they actually sat through. You probably were earlier. If you liked the movie, you'd sit and watch. But you were probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, but I'm still like that now.
Yeah.
where if there's a movie I don't like, I will walk away.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
I haven't seen fully The Princess Bride yet.
Oh.
It was on. We put it on the other day. But that's the thing. So it's like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But we also were starting to have different tastes. I think it's starting to become more apparent. And then with Quinn, it's more, I think you were, even now, if you don't want to watch it, you get up
Yeah,
and
I'll
leave.
just walk away. Even though I have a much more wider variety in nerd.
Yes, you do have much more.
Nerd. If it's not nerdy, I'm basically like.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it.
You know what, dude? I'm the same way. Like, I know there's some stuff out there that people have told me it's a fantastic show, but if it doesn't have some kind of a sci-fi or like
Yeah.
fantasy hook to it, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, that's a lot of that with these with you specifically. But I think he was around the boy's age, and even then maybe a little bit longer. It's just the attention span. He just didn't want to.
Well, see, that's why we've been chopping up movies. Like, we've been watching the extended versions of Lord of the Rings, and in 20 and 30-minute chunks, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I would say there's no way in hell I could get them to watch them. And yet, I mean, of course, I had to skip the one scene. They watched all of Titanic. I'm like, guys, it's just talking. But Alex, like, he loves Titanic. He knows a bunch of the history about it. He has 2 Lego sets, or 2 off-brand Lego sets. I'm not buying that $400 one for him, but anyway. But like, he loves freaking Titanic, and like, they wanted to watch it. I'm like, all right, cool. There's a lot of talking, but they sat there the whole time and didn't complain. And I'm just like, you're not complaining during this, but you complain during Endgame.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's what I mean. Like, it's like sticking Jello to a wall, right? Like, you throw it up against it, and then some of it, a little bit sticks, but most of it falls to the ground. So whatever sticks, you're like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna stick, but all right. That's what a lot of it. It's a lot of trial and error. I am really surprised that they sat through Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure. I am very surprised by that.
It was a lot of just like sarcastic.
It was silly.
Silly, yeah. It was silly.
Silly.
What's a phone booth?
Yeah, exactly. Just, I think things with older technology in it, I think they find
funny,
and
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that we actually
Catherine
used it.
enjoyed it.
They keep asking me, we're watching Lord of the Rings, and they're like, is that real, or did they have CG back then? I'm like, yes, that is not, they did not really build Isengard.
Not when I'm drinking.
To destroy it. Like,
I gotta make sure my wife isn't listening. When we went to see The Hobbit, what was it now? It was in the first one where they're captured by the trolls and they're going through all like the mine carts.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, this is so unrealistic.
I can hear you talking to the floor.
Shut up. But what do you say to that? You're right, honey. That's not realistic.
I don't think I've seen those yet.
It's in The Hobbit. I started watching them with Patrick.
I think I watched one of them, but I fell asleep because I was younger.
It's possible. Patrick wanted to start watching The Hobbits and The Lord of the Rings, and I am not going to say no to anything like that. Ooh. But we only got far in. He's too busy planning his like little dungeon escapades and stuff like that, so I don't want to cut into that time either.
He was researching.
Yeah, he probably was.
I was like, that's a good idea. So, all right, let's see here. So, so things that you shared that your kids did not enjoy, and like I brought up before, Christy and I loved E.T. as kids, and hell, talking about being scared about something that, E.T. scared the crap out of me.
See, I wasn't the only one, Catherine. Quit making fun of me.
Scared the crap out of me as a kid. In fact, I think I got up and like ran out, trying to run out of the theater as a kid. But yeah, scared the crap out of me. So I was a little worried about it. Sat down, watched it with the boys, and they're just like, "Man, this looks old."
Grandma introduced that to us just to get back at Dad.
Yeah.
So something that you shared that just didn't hit, Shaun.
Oh,
yeah, go for it.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Didn't hit, huh?
That movie. Eat it.
I love that movie so much. I can watch it over and over and over and over again.
That movie is like watching a car wreck and a train hits it, and then a plane hits it, and then a
Yeah.
boat hits it, and then an asteroid, and you can't look away. It's horrible, but my God, it's funny.
No.
But I can understand.
I've never seen it, Catherine. So I
Oh
mean,
my God.
Don't
never
recommend
watched
it. Don't do it.
Okay, no, Andrew family, you must watch Napoleon Dynamite.
Give it a
is
shot.
so- You gotta.
Watch it, but be prepared.
It's so good.
No.
And then the other.
The Three Stooges. That one makes people so mad, but I don't like it.
Okay, I'm not trying to be sexist here, but I don't think I know a single woman that likes the Three Stooges. I genuinely think it's just a guy thing. Like every woman I've ever met is like, "That's the stupidest crap," and every guy I know is just like, "No, they were gods."
You're
So-
right. I never thought of it that way.
No, I hadn't either. But the
Must
boys
be in the
like it.
chromosome.
It's just it's a guy thing. It really is. And like I said, I've yet to find a female that I've met some girls that were like, yeah, I've watched some of them, but it's not my thing. That's about as close as I can get to it. Like, so my wife just straight up hates it, and I'm just like, no, they were fantastic. So anyway, Andrew family,
Yes.
something you shared just didn't hit with kids.
Go ahead, Logan.
Well, should we say it together? 3,
2.
1. Twilight.
Now, there's a bunch because there's
City Slickers. There you go.
City Slickers.
So when
Wild
And
Hogs.
when we were getting ready, we all three of us didn't remember what
The
the
name
name
of
of
them.
Wild Hogs
we
was.
couldn't remember. The thing with those movies is because when we lived in the trailer, we didn't have cable or anything. We didn't even have internet, so it was whatever DVDs we had, and they got played a lot over the 3-month period that we were living there. And so yeah, we're all sick of. 3 of us are sick of them. Ray could watch them on repeat forever. It's the 3 of us. So Harry. At the beginning, they liked Harry Potter, but I have just outplayed it. So I will say
I'm
that.
neutral to it now. I'm
Indifferent, yeah?
Yeah, indifferent.
Yeah.
She
doesn't like it. And then so because they liked Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Ray thought Keanu Reeves. Okay, so here's the Matrix.
No.
Again, I'm indifferent to it. I don't really care.
But they did because for us, yeah, he thought Quinn would really like it because
I think it's really boring.
yeah, the technology was so great at the time, and they're like, yeah, but we've seen this a million times. This is nothing new, and so the Matrix. Oh, poor Ray was so sad. But yeah, that did go over very well. Yeah, anything. It's the Harry Potter's a big one just because it's outplayed. Lord of the Rings has been. She doesn't like it. We're working on it.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
Guy though. So.
D&D got in the way on that one, so yeah. We're working on that more than watching movies.
Still haven't finished the campaign yet, though.
No, we will though.
But it's been
Yeah.
like we've been playing it for like almost a year now.
No, it's
Still
till.
got-
Like 6 months.
I'm gonna work on the final boss right now. So.
Mm-hmm. So there's been things, but I mean that's okay. I just think it's funny now. So when I put Twilight on, that's a joke. It's a joke now because they hate it so much. So it's
Yes.
like, guess what we're watching, kids, and it clears the room.
That's hilarious.
That's why it's on because they leave. It's funny.
So differences in how you played and how they play. So like I talked about with the boys. And I hope I don't have an emotional breakdown here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. I loved action figures as a kid. I still love action figures. It kills me that I don't have more room because I would probably still be collecting action figures. In fact, the Ghostbusters Plasma series are sitting at my office at work because I don't have room to display them in here.
Mhm.
But like I've always loved action figures. It was one of those things I was so looking forward to, with the kids. It was like, oh man, especially because like really the last time they really kind of played with action figures was their Transformers Rescue Bots, and they're very simplistic, but literally like it's just like one motion and they transform, and I'm just like, this is fantastic because the ones we had as a kid, it was like I'm gonna transform 20 minutes later, and then it's transformed, and this is literally like transform, done. and I was so, I used to play with them, with those. And then they've just gotten older and everything is on the iPad. And on one hand, it's nice cleanup wise because it's not like there's a bunch of toys everywhere. But on the other hand, it's also like, I kind of wish they would collect things because it would just be kind of cool to go to the toy store with them and look at stuff and everything. And we'll go and look, but and they'll see something they kind of want, but I just know when they have it, it's just gonna sit in the room. It's nothing's gonna get played with unless it's on the iPad or like Alex's computer or Nick's VR. So just kind of a big difference there in how I played as a kid and how they play. So Shaun and Catherine, like, did you run into anything like that, Shaun, with your kids? Like something you kind of thought, I used to do
Oh
this
my.
as a kid. I can't wait to do this with my kids, and it just didn't work out. Or
So many things.
We were talking about
Kid,
Lego earlier at dinner.
yeah. So for me, I played a lot of Lego
Yep.
as a kid. Um, I get a new set, I build it instructions, and it would last for a couple days, and then boom, it'd be with the rest of my Legos, and I'd be building exoskeletons and stuff like that for my Lego figurines.
And that is,
Like,
I'm just going to throw this out there. That is the proper way to do it. You build with the
yeah,
instructions the first time, and then you can do whatever you want with it afterwards.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
And I used to do like whole sets out in the winter time. Like we'd
You
build
still
like
have
moon bases
sets
outside. Yeah, I still have all my
that you want to
Legos.
hang in your man
Yeah.
cave.
That was a big one, but like I played outside all the time. Tree
You bring that
forts.
up all the time.
I could not get the boys or Catherine into it. Like actually, I think I built a little tree thing like
That
fort
was with the boys. I think I had
with
a friend
Patrick
over.
to try to show them how to use tools. And I
Mhm.
think you spent more time up in it with your friends, Catherine, than Patrick or Willie ever did.
They'll go
But
out every once in a while.
I was always out GTing. I got the kids 3
Yeah,
GTs,
you don't
figuring,
use
well, hey,
them.
yeah, never use them. The biggest difference, I think, play wise, is virtual.
Yeah.
They're like, there's a reason they don't have keyboarding classes in school anymore. The kids don't need them, not like when we did it, because we didn't have the computers. I had a Commodore 64 growing up, and
Yeah.
or even before that, where you actually like the game was basically a book you had to type in the code, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was like, screw this, I'm going outside. I still like computer games.
Mm-hmm. Your
And
Xbox games.
well, even back, I had computer games too, and I think you guys all took a very early interest in computer games early on, and that was from me. I introduced you early, and I probably introduced you a little too early.
You introduced us early to everything.
Yeah, I did. But it really changed the way the kids played. They're a lot more virtual. They're always connected to their friends. Um, Patrick has gotten into Dungeons and Dragons, which is something I always wanted to do. And I was the one that introduced him to it.
Mm-hmm.
But he ran. They had a program at high school, like so he got involved at high school in that and started learning. And then with COVID, instead of quitting, they went online.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now he's a dungeon master online a couple times a week. He's playing with people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's doing stuff that I always wanted to do, but I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And Willie,
He's always online.
he's always online. Like he'll be the first in line to get a chip implanted into his head. That's fine, whatever. It's a different way of social interaction. And he still plays with his friends outside here. But COVID really kicked all the kids' asses, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
It's something that we never had to go through. So they're going through this on their own. They're learning new methods that we never thought of. And I think they're coping pretty well. I'd probably have blown my head off if I were their age, but they're stronger than I am. So But there is vastly different between how I played and with how my kids played. Like I got those figurines and stuff like that.
Really had them for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Master Chief. Halo.
Oh, he loved
Master
that.
Chief. That was his favorite figurine. When we got it for Willie, he brought it everywhere. He'd watch me play Halo.
I loved how he said it too. It was so cute.
Master Chief. Where's the Master Chief? It was so cool. And yeah, but that was like the only figurine out of all my kids. Couldn't get him. I still have a lot of my old toys. Tried to introduce them to like Transformers and stuff like that. Got them their own. Patrick
Really had them for a while, but they just sat there.
just sat there. Patrick, I tried getting him into Lego really early on. I think one Christmas he got like 8 sets, Star Wars sets, and nothing. Like I kind of helped him build it, but then that was it. Like
I think you have the sets now.
no, he still has them, but I just asked if he didn't want them.
I'll be honest with you. I'm sure at some point my wife is gonna be like, the boys will never touch their Legos. Can we get rid of them? And be like, no.
Just say yes, I'll get rid of them, and then hide them.
Yeah, I may just have to put them in a big bucket and take them to work. Like they'll put them.
Bucket.
They'll put if it's really something they're really interested in, like the Alex got the like I said, it's an off-brand Lego, but it's a Lego Titanic that's like this big. Like he sat down over several days and did it all by himself. I had to help him correct a few little things, but he was laser focused on it. They both got these 2 smaller Lego sets, just kind of random things. They're still sitting in the guest room, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go get them and put them together.
Willie got a Star Wars Lego set tonight that he ordered himself off of Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But it's not to build. He doesn't really care about that. He's into stop motion animation.
Okay.
So he's using those for his stop motion videos.
Yeah, he's got it all set
Stuff
up.
that I would never have thought of as a kid. I like.
Oh, he loves it though.
Huge VHS recorder or whatever, and just like videotape it.
Yep.
But no, he's into stop motion. So
That's
good
cool.
on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, our play styles are a little different.
A little bit. Before I throw it to the Andrew family, that's something else that I didn't have on there. You were talking about socialization. That's one of those things that, like, okay, so the boys have moved schools a couple of times. Their best friend, Dakari, lives on the other side of town. Their cousin, who they play with all the time, she lives on the other side of town. And growing up, like, that would have been like, I would have seen them every so often. My best friend, Lewis, literally lived like right around the block from me. And so, it's not like the Nintendo could go online and, you could play online with.
Yeah.
So that was different. And part of me has to think, if I were their age now, like, I would probably be doing the same thing. Like, I'd like to think I'd still be playing with action figures and stuff, but like, if they want to play with their friends, it's the iPad to go. Because then they pull up a FaceTime, chat, and they have that running in the background while they're playing Roblox or Minecraft or whatever. So, and then like you said, COVID would have killed us as kids. What do you mean I can't go see him?
Yeah.
So, Andrews.
Much like Shaun, I was outside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Same.
like on my grandparents' farm. I got kicked out after breakfast, got called in for lunch, got kicked back outside. As long as I stayed on the property, because I lived out in the country, that was fine. At home, there was a couple of neighbor kids I used to play with, come back for meal times, leave. I didn't like video games. The novelty wore off really quickly for me. And then we didn't get a computer until I was 16. So I didn't get on computer games. It was whatever was at school. So I wound up being kind of outdoorsy because of that. And then when we had the kids, we tried so hard. Big parental fail. Neither of these ride bikes. They don't know how to ride 2-wheelers because they just.
I mean, she's very close to it.
Yeah.
I did, but I just haven't ridden.
It wound up in a lot of crying and Ray carrying whatever equipment we tried to teach them, and that was the end of it. So but yeah, when they were little, they played more like that, like how I would. They, playing with a lot of friends, but it was play dates that we had to set up, and kind of, the parents were in one room and the kids were playing or whatever. But we introduced electronics, especially with you, really, really early when he was about 2. And then, yeah. But what do you think, Logan?
I think
It's in a mood.
we grew up in a bit of a different environment where, for most of our prime hanging out with our friends, we lived 20 minutes away from where all of our friends were.
Yeah, when we lived in Inverhuron, we were out in the middle of nowhere.
So yeah, we didn't really have an opportunity to go ride your bike, go see your friends.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple neighbor kids that were closer in our age, but they moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And the closest was a little girl that I babysat sometimes. That was the closest person.
Yeah.
So
that didn't work out.
No. Yeah. So it's different. And then COVID's been very different, because we also moved COVID, and she started high school at a different school, like school boards, like everything was different. So you haven't been having the typical high school experience. No. And then with Quinn, you love video. We're holding up. This consumed our life for many years.
My first console
years.
video game.
Frickin' Skylanders.
I remember.
God.
We have a
We had a
whole
lot of
giant
those.
Tupperware, big giant Tupperware tote full
Do you still have it?
Skylander. Yeah, it's
To be
upstairs.
honest, though, most of it is Swap Force Giants and Spyro's Adventure.
Yeah.
Some Trap Team, barely any Superchargers, and then there's some Imaginators in there, but most of the time, most of it is like the first 3 games.
Yes, because you were really, really big into it. And for him, it was like anything that
They were also
he
cheaper then.
engaged with was like, let's do it. So a lot of video games. You play, you've gotten into PC gaming since we got you your PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really big one that I got like in November, like recently, is League of Legends.
Oh yeah, League of Legends is kind of.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight as well. That's another one.
Yeah. Yeah, but him and Ray can do that together, because Ray was one of those kids who used to. He had a Nintendo, and I think he had a Sega.
Genesis, yeah.
Yeah. So he had that. I used to go to my friend's house because she had everything. Her parents gave her everything. She was very spoiled, and she had a Sega. So that's the only time I ever played Sega, is when I would go over to her house. I was like 10, and I played Echo the Dolphin.
Of course, you played Echo.
And a little bit of Sonic. That was it. But again, I don't like it. So even now, they want to play. He tried teaching me how to play Pokemon on his phone, and he wound
that Pokemon Unite.
No, Pokemon Unite. He wound up taking it away from me because I kept dying.
You kept like charging it.
Turns out he gets the kamikaze from me, because I'm like, oh, let's go, and I just went full in, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I just died. So
You're basically la di di la da da, la di di la da da.
Chris, do you do the traditional mom when you're jumping? You
Yes.
do that maneuver.
I've always done that, though. That's not a thing. I did that when I had the Nintendo. It was like this.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a mom. I embrace it.
I always thought with the Wii they should have incorporated jump into, because it had the motion control. They should have just added that as a jump feature as well. People would have been like, dude, I can actually play this now.
Yeah. So electronics have been a very big part, because Ray's a gamer and he loves it and shares that with the kids. You only like playing Sims 4.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So that's not a.
Catherine's the same.
Yeah, Sims 4, big Sims 4 there. And then
I've spent so much money on that game.
You have.
Don't get me started on how much money the boys have sunk into Roblox.
Yeah. But again,
We don't spend money on games.
No, I got you trained well.
We would be doing the exact same things our kids would be doing, right? Like if technology was like it is now, when we were kids, we'd be all having tablets and cell phones.
I think I've brought this up previously on an episode, but it's something that I had my partner at work. His son just graduated this last year, and I just asked him. I said, they like collect, they like spending money on Roblox, and a lot of times they'll spend money on just like outfits and stuff that they can wear. And I cannot do that. It blows my mind.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I understand, like I did Call of Duty for a while. And yeah, when the new season came out to get the new maps or whatever, you had to spend that money because it's basically an upgrade to the game. But I never spent money on like, oh, I want the gold color gun or whatever. I just could not wrap my head around that. And he explained it. He's like, well, it's kind of like collecting action figures. And then that's when it clicked. I was just like, well, I guess technically it is just like a digital action figure. You're just buying the different version on, but it doesn't hit with I still have a hard time with it. They're like, look, Dad, I bought this outfit. I'm like, cool. You could have
Yeah.
gone to the store and bought this, but whatever. So
Ray's the same way. Ray just like just eye rolls when she spends money on like any packs on
Any
packs.
packs.
Yeah, and then now that he plays League of Legends, you can buy gift cards for League of Legends.
I got two. I got a.
One
he-
for me.
Yeah, so he buys things in game now too.
Yeah, I have like I don't know like
Now Willie does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 skins for Kale, 1
what does
skin
Willie
for
play
Boy
now?
Bear, 2. Well, I got 1 skin for free for Mordekaiser, but I've got another
Valorant?
skin for Mordekaiser.
Yeah, just buying pixels.
Yeah,
essentially.
Willie.
A lot of
What is Willie playing now?
I think he's playing Valorant, but he still might play Fortnite. But I don't know.
Fortnite. But Willie was playing like Fortnite at a competitive level, so he was actually earning cash to buy the stuff. So I'm like, fine. You don't need my credit card? Awesome, dude.
yeah, nice.
But
Well,
yeah,
you shut off the Wi-Fi in the middle of one of his games earlier.
yeah, I felt bad about that. That's on my pan. We'll talk about that later.
Well, I was just one of the next questions was actually just about living in digital age compared to now, and like one of the biggest things that just like they can't seem to wrap their head around is the only time Christy and I now watch live TV, like over the air television or whatever. We don't have cable. We haven't had cable since the boys were born. Like we'll go someplace like the grandparents' house, and they're like, what is this? I'm like, it's a commercial. Well, skip it. I can't. What do you mean you can't? You watch it, and I kept trying to explain them to them. I'm like, guys, y'all can pull up Netflix or whatever and watch it whenever you want, whatever. I'm like, I had cartoons in the morning before I went to school, like so I got to maybe watch half an episode of something then. So whatever was on was what I got to watch. Like if I didn't like it tough, I got to watch a little bit right when I got home. And Saturday morning was the deal. Like got up, you watched cartoons until about 11 or noon, and that's it. That's all the cartoons you got. Like that was, and it blew their minds that they were just like, that's that. So you just watched whatever was on. I was like, yeah, that was the thing. Like Thursday night was a big deal because that's when the funny shows came on you wanted to watch, or Monday night, or whenever it was. When Knight Rider came on Friday nights, by God, you weren't doing anything else but watching Knight Rider, or you missed it. So,
Yep.
KJ, you have a similar story, don't you? When we went to the hotel that one time.
I don't know which one you're talking about, but I was thinking how every time a commercial comes on and you go to skip it because we have it recorded, Mom's like, no, don't skip it.
I was
Why
thinking the
not?
first time we took the kids to a hotel, because we didn't have cable, like we didn't bother with cable either.
Mhm.
So when we went to the hotel and there was commercials, the kids didn't know what they were. Why did the show stop? What is this?
Yep.
So, and the other time we took you to a mall and the doors opened automatically and you guys were blown away and like, oh, fuck, we are not Hicks.
Yeah.
There are automatic doors in the world, really.
I still take the boys out places, and you'd act like they act like they've never been there before, like they've never been outside before. I'm just like, we're at Walmart. This is not a magical land.
Okay. To compensate for that, Eugene, I started suggesting acting like your kids. So when the doors open up, holy crap, what's going on? Have fun with it, dude. Just totally have fun with it. It embarrasses your kids sometimes, right, Catherine? But
Oh, yeah.
it's fun.
Oh, I bet. Anything y'all want to throw in, Andrews,
We
on the
actually-
digital life?
Growing up with cable-ish, like
Yeah, we had cable and port.
only in port though, and then when we moved out the trailer, it was basically like
We had nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in Huron, we didn't have cable.
Yeah.
No, and we
We
don't
have cable, and we don't.
We
get
tried.
Record stuff.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
tried.
we
We
were-
bought this box so that I could watch English
Yeah.
television
I
live.
haven't
Yeah.
used it in a while.
No, but because Dad canceled the subscription. But it was so we'd watch the UK stuff. So the kids got to watch UK
The
commercials,
Chase.
which were
Oh,
which are a
wow.
little different than Canadian commercials.
They got weird sometimes.
Some of them are weird.
Really weird.
They got
Those
weird.
teen commercials.
But
It's like as if one of the commercial makers were on drugs or something.
But Eugene
Nice.
was asking what you think about growing up in a digital age. Anything to add? Any notes from Quinn?
Well, you got to pick and choose what you want to watch when you want to watch it. And I remember when I was young, like when I was a wee little lad,
Because he's all 13.
I was a wee little 3 to 4 year old.
Yes. What do you remember?
I remember playing this like website thing of YT.
Oh, okay.
Like remember that where
Oh,
PB,
PBS?
PBS Kids. I remember watching that, and then I remember they had a website with games on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just basically played the Wild Kratts one. Only that. All I remember is playing that, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
That and Skylanders, but
Yeah. What do you think about growing up in the digital age?
It's a lot different than normal. Than what you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sense of real privacy. Cause you used to like post a lot about us.
Total Facebook mom. Yeah.
And when we would be
Not
fussy,
anymore. Yeah.
and when like if we were sick
Mm-hmm.
or just anything like that. So it's weird knowing that that's all online for potentially everybody to see, and it's just really bizarre to think about that.
You're a very private person
Yeah.
too. Yeah. That's why I don't.
And
Both
that
of them.
would suck. I feel for you, Logan.
Yeah, they don't like having their picture taken,
Nope.
especially not to be posted. So I ask first if if it's okay if I post pictures. I can get away now with posting baby pictures, but I ask
because
first.
they're baby pictures.
Yeah, but not now. I can't post pictures now, which is fine, and that's totally fine. But yeah, we were talking about that, and it's weird because I started posting stuff when she was 1 on Facebook because everybody was happy, but it was like the dawn of social media. And in my entire pregnancy was documented on Facebook with him. So he's, been shown, and you weren't thinking about kids' privacy and you weren't thinking about any of that because it was just so, it was a nice place back then. It's not now, it's a shithole, but back then it was so new and everybody was just so happy that it was positive, and then it's just slowly over the last
It suddenly became the wild, wild web.
Yes, and it's just degraded since then, and it's just
there's still some like positive here and there, but most of the time it's just
yes. So you have to really
especially
be careful.
Twitter.
Yeah, you have to be really, really careful. And then introducing these guys. I don't know if Shaun, if your kids have social media, but when do you introduce social media? How old should they be? What kind of parameters are you putting around that whole thing? And because are you the parent that lets your kid have a TikTok account at 6 years old, or are you the parent that refuses to let them until they're 18 and out of the house? Like, where do you there seems to be extremes on both sides, and where do you fall in the middle? Because there still isn't a lot of laws to protect people online and minors and stuff like that. They're catching up, but it's slow going. So what do you do? How do you protect your kids? Because we all know that if social media existed when we were teenagers.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Man,
No.
I'd be arrested so many times.
Ditto.
Like the crap we used
Ditto.
to do. The shit we used to do when we were teenagers. And nobody remembers. There's no evidence of it. So you feel
there's evidence.
Oh, no, there's none. But these guys, they don't have, you really have to unplug. And it's very hard to unplug and really get off the grid and really, not participate in social media. Especially you, yes.
I think especially.
But you don't want social media, though.
Yeah, I mean, no, not really.
No, you don't want it. We've asked, and you said no.
No, not really.
No.
That's the big thing. We had a rule. I think it was 13.
Yeah.
But
and then
the boys don't want it.
No, Patrick has it.
Well, he's got Facebook, but I don't.
Yeah. And
Doesn't really
you
use
just don't
it.
want Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know Facebook. I've got Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
I know, and all my friends follow you on Instagram.
I know.
Poor
It's
Karen.
crazy. I have more of your friends on my Instagram than anyone else. Creepy.
And crazy Karens.
Jeez. I gotta be careful what. Oh, I should be careful what I post
You
on.
don't have to.
Well, good.
I feel like
Too
if
late
they're
now.
following him, they understand what
No,
they're
'cause
going to do.
we're similar, but also very different.
Yeah. We trust you kids. Like we've been kind of preaching like, yeah, there's a lot of creeps out there and stuff like that. But you know what? The other side of that coin, like
There's a lot of good people too.
I combat all that stuff with apathy. I really don't care what you think about me. So no, that's the key. I can do that. I'm at an age where I don't care what you think of me.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me at all. With kids, though, you guys are still developing your own sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need all that negativity if it's coming your way, because that's going to affect you. Now, when you grow up to be like me, and you don't give a shit, then it's not such a big deal. But at an earlier age, you don't need that. So you got to be able to like say, no, you're gone, out of here.
It also affects adults really hard too, though, especially, and I can't tell you how many it's hit Christy this way. Not really. Well, I guess it has hit me a little bit, but in a different way. We suck, because I was hoping to have this really awesome Christmas, and the kids had a meltdown, and everything went to shit. We're not perfect or whatever, because this person and this person and this person are posting their perfect Christmas, and I'm like, that's bullshit. It's not real. You can't look at it like that.
Right there, and you can do that as an adult.
Right.
Well, hopefully, not every adult.
Not every adult, but that's what I'm saying is like, is that type of thing influences adults? Like every so often I will go on, I'll be in a downer mood and I'll be looking at all these different makers and I'm like, look at that awesome thing they made. Look at that awesome thing they made. And I can't get this to work and I feel like a failure. That doesn't happen very often. Very, very few times. But hell, I cannot imagine being y'all's age and feeling and seeing constant, well, this is the cool thing to do, and this is the cool, this is how you should look, this is how you should act, this is what you should be into, and the older you get, honestly, the less of a shit you give. But I remember those days of being like, well, I don't want to be the outsider necessarily. Like you want to be cool, which means setting yourself apart, just to be like everyone else. But anyway, I'm not going to be that old guy and go into that.
We're not in school. You don't have to put your hand up. Speak.
No.
I just want to add something. I don't really give a crap.
Yeah, Quinn's got a wonderful.
Good for you.
There you go.
That's the best part, is that he honestly doesn't give a shit.
But it's not.
Rap music
for everyone to do.
I'm into rock. See ya.
It's
the closest thing I can get into like modern music is Imagine Dragons, and even then I prefer like an album of theirs that is very, very obscure.
But you're not worried about fitting in.
Yeah. I'm already an outcast. Well, an outsider in the head.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah.
But it's not the same for everyone, Quinn.
No, it's not. And he's lucky that he honestly at 13 honestly just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yep. Patrick was a lot like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just slide off of him, but that's not for everyone, and that's where empathy. And when you guys are learning, empathy is huge. Mm-hmm. You got to look at how the other person might be feeling.
Yeah.
And that's where becoming an adult is the big thing. So we've tried raising our kids that way.
Yeah.
Big time. We always, what is the other person thinking? It's not when someone upsets you. Okay, yeah, I understand your feelings. What do you think the other person was feeling? Why did they do that? And we've done that right from when they could start learning how to walk and talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
but
that's important.
I don't envy you kids going through this right now because COVID threw a big old loop in it. However, we had our own trials and tribulations. We had big hair bands. That really screwed us up.
It's a lot of lycra.
Oh my god. Oh, and acid wash jeans? That
They're
shit got
coming
in your
back,
blood.
though.
Man,
All
that
that
just
stuff.
screwed you.
All that stuff's coming back.
Oh man.
All I could
Acid
think
wash
of when
jeans.
you said that, Shaun, was at that time, being openly homosexual was not socially acceptable,
No, wasn't.
and yet we constantly had hardcore rocker Queen. It's just like,
Any hairband.
did we just go? No, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
God, we were stupid.
Yeah.
So,
No,
I mean, it's cool. It's fine now. It is what it is. But anyway, okay. So the last question that I had on there, I'm glad we kind of got on a more serious subject thing. Just kind of talking about digital and growing up. Because like the boys keep asking me when could they start a YouTube channel, and I'm just like, not until you're older.
Yeah.
actually Patrick
did that.
very
And Willie
early.
did too.
So
Patrick started a YouTube channel for Minecraft, was it not?
Yeah.
And
Please don't look it up.
we got it very, very young, and very shortly, like I had the comments, I had
disabled.
them off, and then they went on for some reason, and he got some negative comments,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to deal with that. Now, Patrick, I think it upset Deb and I more than Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick was like, yeah, fuck it. But it was like, oh crap.
But
Like
he
this
was
is supposed to be.
younger than Willie.
Yeah, he was very young, but also Patrick had a very early, like Patrick was way ahead, very young. Like he was reading and writing before going into kindergarten.
Yeah.
So and computers was an outlet and Minecraft was an outlet. So oh, what the hell? It'd be cool. Like at that point, YouTubers, what Stampy Longnose or whatever the hell his name was. That was such a huge thing in our household.
That one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And
So
Dan
he wanted to
TDM.
Dan TDM.
The boys.
Yeah, I remember that.
When he first started,
Yeah,
Patrick
he's
wanted
much
to
different
emulate them, and we thought this was a good social thing for Patrick to start coming out of his shell. And yeah, we hit some road bumps in there, but yeah, they started, and Willie started a YouTube channel pretty early on.
I don't know what he was doing.
I think it was Fortnite.
I think he played some Smash Bros. Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
I never did that.
it is what it is. They want to put stuff out there. It's something that we won't understand because we didn't have it as kids. We were outside building tree houses and falling out of trees like crazy, where I was.
Yeah, what you told your parents. That was fun.
Oh God, I probably shouldn't have done that. But anyway.
No, it was a fun family dinner. It was really, really fun. I really liked it. It's good.
Yeah. You did what? Anyway, that came up a lot. But yeah, it's hard to understand as parents the digital stuff. But I'm sure our parents had a hard time with us too. And guess what, kids? It's cyclical. It'll happen to you.
That's part of the reason I think Christy, like we've told the boys, one of the things I've always told them is, everyone's weird. You're weird. So am I. Everyone's weird. And it's cool. That's fine. Of course we like to tease each other about some of the things still, but yeah, the YouTube thing, I can keep going back and forth on it. Something we may have a more in-depth conversation on at a later point. So the last question,
comments, it might be all right.
Yeah, that's, oh God, yes. Like, that's the other thing, is the stuff they're wanting to do would be video game related, and just from all the crap that Sci has had to deal with, I'm just like, absolutely not. The fucking comments will be shut off by all means.
Sci's a bit of a bad example.
Okay, well, yes and no.
Don't compare your kids to size following.
No, I'm not going to compare my kids to size. But no, just talking with some other people that I know that have done some video game stuff, it's just like, anyway. Yeah. The last thing that I said I wanted to find out was things that you're into, that are things that they're into that you're not. And like they said, Roblox. In fact, don't you just love it when your kids throw one of your sayings in your face and it's truthful? So like Nick keeps bringing up, he goes, I keep going. I'm like, I don't like Roblox. Well, how do you know? You've never played it.
Oh,
Oh,
God dang it. You're right. I have not played it. I don't have any interest in playing it. My problem with it is they're sitting there playing these games that are horribly coded in some cases, and they complain about it. I'm like, then play something else. If it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, play something else. The other thing is I constantly see assets from video games and movies and all this other stuff. Like literally, I'm like, Alex, do you know what music that is? He's like, no. I'm like, that is the end music when you beat Super Mario Brothers 2. Someone's using it in a game, and I'm like, I guarantee Nintendo is not getting paid for that. And I want to know why some of these big companies haven't come down on Roblox with like this giant hammer. Surely they must have something worked out. But I'm like, nothing's original in it, and it drives me insane. Anyway, that's my problem with it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that they're into. Like, not that I was ever really big into Pokemon. They got into Pokemon for just a little bit, but like I could get that. I could be like, all right, well, cool. That it is what is. It's just Minecraft. They're super into it. Like literally, we played probably 6 hours of Minecraft yesterday, and like they're doing stuff, and I'm just like, I don't even know how the hell you do that. Like I have never even really started messing with Redstone, and they can build contraptions to do crap and everything, and I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna keep digging down here and looking for stuff. So my biggest, never mind, going. That's all. But like so there's some things that I can definitely I understand, I can get behind, and some of the stuff, like if they got into it, I would be like, okay, it's not my deal, but I understand. But Roblox, I can't get behind it. I can't. My brain just will not do it. So, is there something like that Catherine or one of the boys was into that Shaun, you're just like, I can't follow you here.
I never got into Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really either. Willie got into it.
Willie and Patrick.
Oh yeah, Patrick was into it.
Yeah, Patrick started it, and then Willie got into it big time. And like Pokemon came out when I was in late high school, I think.
Yeah.
So it was like meh.
Yeah.
So like I didn't hate it or anything like that. Wasn't big on the cartoon. I thought it was kind of stupid, but I don't know. I think I was just at that age where I'm like, nah, I can go on to something else. Anything else? I don't know, KJ. What?
Any music or anything? Movies?
Any romantic movies, Dad won't. That's what I do with Mom.
Yeah, that's you and your mom, and I don't want to interfere with that because I'll just make snide comments the whole way through.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Imagine
what I do.
that.
I like rewatching movies with you and like saying lines and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, see, that's when we're getting on to things that we like to do together because we quote movies and TV series all the time.
Nice.
What do we not like doing together?
I don't know. I didn't get into Roblox, and I know all you kids did.
For a little
I didn't
bit.
I didn't have anything against it. I just was kind of.
Willie really got into it. Pat and I played for a bit.
Yeah, but I don't know. Catherine and I are probably a bad example because we're of my kids. She and I are the most similar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Even the good looks.
She didn't even. Oh my God! All right, Andrews. Is there something they're into that Chris, you or Ray just can't get into, can't follow?
Looking at me like, yes, is there? Young. So.
Oh, there's one. There's one very big one.
That I don't like that you guys like?
No, that you don't like that she likes.
What's that?
Sims.
Oh yeah, it's any video game because I just don't.
I think you would like it because it's just interior decorating.
Yeah.
No. So
It's more than that. It's more than that.
yeah, no,
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
I don't like video games. That's not my jam. Okay, so I don't play. I don't like that. Ray does not get it at all. We're supportive. Don't want to engage.
There's one thing that I just got into, Warhammer.
Well, we don't have anything yet.
Yeah.
So
Willie just got
I'm
into that
hooking
too.
onto it through the lore, so.
okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
But with the kids, so his gaming, I'll be supportive and I know roughly what he's playing, but I don't want to play. As we have found out, I can't. I just don't have the dexterity you need. I don't have it. And then with Logan, it's like with your YouTube, the YouTube channels you watch, I would never watch.
Like what? I need some examples.
I would never watch Colleen Ballinger.
I would also never watch Colin Ballinger.
That's fine.
I would never watch her. I like that that you like watching her, but no. Some of the stuff and some of the I don't like family vloggers. I don't understand why you would.
I don't either. I think they're
vlog your life like that. Colleen's a bit like that.
Colleen, yeah, but she's like vlogged every day of her life.
Yeah, why would you do that? That's I don't know.
January 20th. No, March.
And then what? Any of the kids shows. Just any of them growing up, like when they were growing up, there were things that they weren't allowed to watch because I refused to put up with it.
Oh, God.
Caillou, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Caillou.
What's wrong with SpongeBob?
I couldn't with the voice. I couldn't with the voice. It was bad. I couldn't.
We lived on SpongeBob.
I don't like SpongeBob either.
No. Caillou was the other one. There were a couple other ones that I refused to watch, like have them watch, because I'm just like, I just don't want to listen to this. This is just irritating.
Caillou is like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Caillou should be destroyed.
I made you watch.
Yeah. She likes more musical movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. It's not that I don't appreciate. I was just like, this is a nice story. You loved it though.
Yes.
Sounds like the church lady. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Yes. But I think it's just more an age thing too. Like I just can't relate to some of the things that you want to watch. It's like any kind
While me, on the other hand,
You're the worst.
I am.
Yeah, because you like
You and I like similar things
Yeah.
though, because we have shows that we like to watch. So we like watching. So we watch
Umbrella
Academy together. I still have to watch the second episode of Arcane.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and we watched the Pacific Rim movies, both of them.
I like the first one.
So those are movies that we have similar movie tastes.
Yeah.
Ray does like a good rom-com though. I will say, Shaun, he does like a good rom-com.
I don't like rom-coms.
You don't.
I don't like rom-coms.
rom-coms.
But
Ray
we get
strikes
it,
me as a cuddler.
He's a cuddler. Know that. He likes a good hug. But I think but you're 16. I mean, there's stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna have things that we really like to do together, but it's not gonna be everything. And
When we do things, like sometimes I will walk away because I think you're doing it wrong and you're not going to let me do
that's
it.
the other part. Too.
Like baking, I can't bake with you.
No, we can't bake together. We love to bake.
Yes.
We can't share it because the other one is doing it wrong.
Oh yeah, I also sometimes have a system to do chores. Sometimes it infuriates you.
Like when you put away the groceries and you take half of the stuff out of one bag and then leave the rest on the floor and just leave it everywhere and then put some stuff away, but then leave everything else.
We have feelings about this.
Like I have this
Sounds like it.
idea.
Anyway,
Pulling stuff out and then putting it away.
we are going down a hole.
Logan, the trick with that is just walk out of the room and let him put everything away.
No, I won't
No,
let
I
her.
can't.
I won't let her.
She won't let me.
I used to pull
I
that crap
try.
when I was younger. I used
just
to
hide
have
in
to
the
like go to
bathroom.
the bathroom and like hide in there, and so I know the trick. So I know what she's doing. So she's got to put the groceries away. But yeah, with Ray, it's he doesn't understand Sims. With you, he doesn't understand, especially the in-game buying. You can't fathom. And then with
There's another
it's mainly a lot of what really got us when you guys were younger was why would you watch YouTube videos of other people playing video games? That I didn't get.
I didn't want to play them myself because I was too
Or
afraid to play
you
them.
don't have it.
I just
There's
didn't.
an entire.
I just get it.
Why are you watching somebody else play a video game? I didn't
It's like
get
his
it.
Ooh,
reactions
ooh.
are really funny.
Okay,
Okay.
let me jump in on this one. Okay,
Okay.
number one, it's called Twitch, and it's become a worldwide phenomenon. That's number one. Number two, technically, you could. Christy says the same thing about me. I will sometimes go back and rewatch Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and she's like, "I don't understand how you can sit there and watch someone else play a board game.
Yeah.
I don't understand how on Sundays you can watch someone else play a game."
Oh,
And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Football.
Football.
You are watching someone else play a game." Well, that's different. No,
no.
no, it's not. It's the same thing.
No.
So,
One thing I can do and one thing I can't.
oh, yes and no. So, all
I
right.
can't play football.
Oh, same, but I don't have anyone around here to play with board games with, so there. I'm playing with my freak friends. Okay, so let's move on to our picks. And by the way, I'm glad everyone joined us. I know my boys had to jump out because they were 9. And it keeps getting better. Sometimes I keep, going back to Facebook. It is nice seeing those things. Oh, hey, remember this from 8 years ago when they were little? And it's just like, oh, I forgot about that. And yes, I have those pictures. Those are sitting on a hard drive. I could easily go through and look up. But it's nice to have those little reminders. That's the one thing I like about Facebook. So anyway, but yes, the older they've gotten and the more that we can share things, it's definitely gotten better. So let's move into our picks and pans. Since the group was kind of the first one to go, I'll go first real quick. I've got 3 quick ones. Minecraft with the kids. The last couple of weeks I've sat down and played Minecraft with them, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Nick, I think, is coming to understand how I want to play. Like I like everything nice and organized, and I like to build architecture and stuff like that, and he's enjoying doing that. Like, so we've been having some fun doing that. I won't go into it too much. At night we tend to watch a TV show or movie before they go to bed, and we have greatly enjoyed watching The Mandalorian season 3. The last couple of episodes, that's been really good. Those have been fantastic episodes. But yes, so if you're watching, I think it's on Disney Plus or something else. I think it's called Boba Fett. But anyway, those have been really good episodes. And then Shaun, I don't know if you know this, but I just finished the Orville.
Oh, it's about damn time.
I know, and yes,
That's one of Catherine's favorite shows too.
and yes, you were right. I started talking to Chris and Ray about this. I understand the show knows what it is, and it does a fantastic job of being what it is. The problem is it's 90s era Star Trek. So we get a genuinely awesome, thought-provoking idea for a story that we tend to wrap up within 45 minutes. I'm just like, I wanted you to go so much deeper with this topic, but that's my only complaint. But I know they know he knows what it is. Yeah. That's what he's shooting for, and it's such a fantastic show. Oh my God, I love all the characters.
TNG with a comedy aspect of it. Seth MacFarlane, he was on TNG for all of one episode, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to make my own series," and he did.
Yes, and he did a fantastic job of it. And the fact that the only thing I don't like is when what's her name, the super strong head of security, when she left. I don't care for her replacement as much. No. She's growing on me, but I still prefer.
I'm pretty sure she comes back for season 3 though. Okay. Which has been in production hell, but I think is just about to come out.
Yes. So I cannot wait for that. You are all absolutely 100% right about that. It was so good, and like it literally hooked me on like episode 2 or episode 3. Literally that episode when it's like, we need you to change the sex of our child, and I'm just like, this is interesting. Where are we going with this? Yeah. And like I said, the episode wrapped up, and I understand why it wrapped up, and I'm glad that they have come back, because I asked Chris, I'm like, please tell me they at least this isn't just swept up. She's like, no, it comes back and it keeps recurring. I like that, but man, that episode could have been so much more. They could have gone into so many more things, but it's It's just fantastic. It's a fantastic show, and I've loved it.
Oh, it is. I can't wait for season 3. And
Yep.
unlike TNG, where it was like pretty much one and done, and you didn't. There was a few episodes that carried over and stuff like that throughout the whole season. Orville isn't doing that. So if they do bring something up that is deeper, that requires more explanation, you may see it a couple episodes down the road.
Yeah.
It's not gone. So don't think like that. But and then it's Seth MacFarlane. God, I keep thinking he's gonna break out into the Peter voice. Like I so wish he would do that.
And that's something else that kills me. Like, he's done this, and then he produced the new version of Cosmos, and
Yeah.
that was mind-bendingly awesome. And I'm just like, you are so much better than I understand. Fox keeps giving you dump trucks of money to make Family Guy, and it's hard to say no to that because it lets you do what you really want to do. But my God, you are so much better than Family Guy. You are so much better than Family Guy. So those were my 3 picks. Shaun, do you have any picks or pans?
My pick definitely was the latest episode of season 3 Mandalorian, or Book of Boba Fett. That episode with, you know what, if you're watching this, tough, I'm going to spoil it, Cad Bane. And oh my God, like after being stuck in a chair for 6 months because of my herniated disc and watching all the Clone Wars and stuff like that, to see all this Clone Wars stuff come in, like the Bad Batch is going to be in there at some point. You know that, right?
Oh, it's got to be.
It's got to be. Anyway. That was like, I'm watching it and Deb's sitting next to me trying to watch videos on her phone or whatever, and I'm like shaking in my chair, like, "Oh my God, it's Cad Bane!"
That's like, what I thought. Literally, when he starts walking up the street, I'm just like, I grabbed one of the boys. I'm like, "Is that?" And Alex goes, "Is it the guy with the blue?" And I'm like, "I think that's it."
And when it was all done, and then I'm like taking a deep breath, and I'm coming down from it. I'm like, "What the fuck did just happen here? Why did I get so excited about this?" But then I was like, just let it go. It's just me. And my pan was this afternoon. So we recently we upgraded our Eastlink service. Hey, I doubled our net speed and got Crave for a year and HBO Max for a year, all for free. I'm actually paying less now. It was great. And they gave us other Eros devices to increase the wireless in the house. So I said, "Oh, just give me the Eros. I'll hook it up myself. Not a problem. Already done it a few times." I couldn't get it registered. I spent like an hour on my own, and then I was trying to contact customer service, contacting Eros. Finally got through after like half an hour online waiting, and then they're like, "Oh wait, you got this through Eastlink? You didn't buy it yourself? They have to activate it." I'm like, "God damn it." So then I'm on the phone to them, and like just the way their system is set up, they're like, "Oh, well, we have a tech coming out on the 14th, and that's when it'll get activated." I'm like, I spent all afternoon on this. So, and the other problem is Crave. I'm like so excited to get Crave, but I only have it on the set-top boxes, and I should be able to have that through all like the apps and stuff like that. Because I don't know if you have ever tried using Crave on a set-top box, but it sucks. You can't search anything. It's all text-based and stuff like that. It's garbage. So I really wanted these apps. Well, they can't figure it out. I was online with Eastlink for like an hour and then called Crave, and they had to bump it up to tier 2. So they're like, hopefully tier 2 will get back to me in like 48 hours. I'm like, I spent all afternoon on tech support on a Saturday. Oh my God. And I had 0 resolution. So, and then I wanted to drink really, really bad because I was so depressed, but I had to drive Catherine's friend home, so I couldn't drink. So thanks for that.
Welcome.
So that's why I'm a little more sober on the show. Plus, I didn't want to like scare the kids. Hopefully I was good.
So we do what we call a pick or a pan, basically something that you've really liked, really enjoyed, or something that you haven't liked or enjoyed. Catherine, do you have a pick or pan for us?
I've been really enjoying Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
And I just finished Jessica Jones season 1 because I'm watching them in a specific order to
Was
go chronologically.
is what's his name? The Man in Purple. Is he not one of the scariest Marvel villains ever?
Thanos? Is that
No.
Yeah, wrong man.
Oh
in
yeah,
purple.
Thanos. But the villain in Jessica Jones.
Doctor Who.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that, so maybe. Yeah, he's fairly scary. Yeah. It's like,
As a parent watching it, it was
probably
like
terrifying.
when he tells the kids go stand in the closet and they just do it, and I'm just like, oh my god, So
yeah. Well, and then the last bit where you find out more of his backstory, that was a lot too.
Yeah.
And Dad, I know you know how I have no idea. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You only watched
Jessica
the first
Jones
few
was
episodes.
the only one that I couldn't get through. I only watched like the first couple episodes, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. And I couldn't do it, which surprised me because I'm such a huge Doctor Who fan. But
It was good.
I'll give it another whirl.
he's fantastic in that.
He's fantastic in everything.
Okay, true enough.
Including Harry Potter. Chris got that.
Did you have something else, Catherine? I think I cut you off.
I started my new semester on Friday, and it was good because we have 4 classes a day now, and it goes much faster than 2 classes.
That's a big difference.
Good deal. Chris, pick or pan?
Are we having a bit of a noisy household right now? So pick. I didn't even think about that today because I was so worried. I was so busy making sure the kids had the questions and that they were thinking about them. So it's a pick and a pan. So Facebook Marketplace is a wonderful place. Sometimes you really great deals, and other times there's just nothing on there. So Logan's room is funny. It's shaped funny. Yes. So it's funny shaped, and she doesn't have an actual closet. It's like this little cubby that Ray has put in a clothes rod.
No, I think it was there when we moved in.
Okay, well then he reinforced it because it fell. Anyway, sorry, the dog has zoomies. And then so because of that, and she's getting older, she likes to have more clothes, and you've got a job, so she spends her money on that sometimes.
Spend a lot of money.
Yes, you do. But so she needs more hanging space, but with no closet and a weird angled room. How do you do that without having to build something custom? Ray is not about that right now because we're about to do a very big reno in the kitchen. So he's like, well, what about one of those corner TV units? It's for the big, huge TVs back in the 90s. What about one of those? And I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. Facebook Marketplace, found one for $100, solid wood. I'm like, you can't buy the wood for $100, so let's get it. It's huge. We got it home. That was fine. It literally, this is also a good lesson in measuring properly. Like it fit in her room.
Measuring every step of the way.
We measured it for her room and it would fit in her room. We did not measure if it would fit through any door. That's where we went wrong. Because I got so excited and it was available and I'm like, let's get it, it'll be perfect. So Ray had to take it all apart with the crowbar to get it through the house. He used to crowbar. He put it all back together again, and then I've spent the last 3 days painting it. Painting it white and changing out the hardware so that it's gold. She helped slightly. She really hates painting. So that was a pick and a pan because this thing is just. Ray's like, we're selling this. If we ever sell the house, this is just staying. I'm not moving it. Or I'm going to burn it. Like, it's just, this is it. And then today when she was putting her clothes in, we finally put the final shelf in, her dresser, got emptied. And it's just a little 3-drawer IKEA dresser we had from the cottage. It's really small. It fit in the cottage. And all of your clothes are now in your new armoire.
All the ones that were in the dresser.
Yes. And so she set the dresser in the hallway. We have this like weird little space, and it fit perfectly. And I'm like, oh, I just watched a DIY video. I could make this a bookcase. So unfortunately, poor Ray's going to have to help me turn it into a bookcase. But I dismantled the whole thing. I dismantled it. It's in the basement. He just has to help me put a couple of pieces of wood together, and then I can do it. But yeah, measuring's super important. All doorways, especially when you live in an old house that's kind of wonky. That has specific angles. Like we were literally, it was getting to the point where Ray was going to take our porch apart, trying to figure out how to get this through the door. Like we had it up over our heads outside in the snow. Our neighbors must have just had a field day watching us trying to maneuver. Poor Logan's just. Yeah, it was. It was a Friends episode. That's what it was.
I'm not doing much of anything. I'm just like kind of a support. And I feel like Rachel in that scene where I'm just like, when they're moving something up to Phoebe's apartment and she's like, I'm not actually helping.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Yeah. So it was a lot of pivot. It was that Friends episode where it was just like, forget it. So Ray got the crowbar out.
Uncomfortable bonding time.
Yes, it was uncomfortable bonding time. Yes. That's a good way. Because he was at school because she had her.
I had a 6-day long weekend.
Plus
I had a 4-day weekend, so.
There you go. So that was it.
The 6 days.
Furniture. Woohoo. Do you want to go?
Sure. I have kind of one that's both. School started. We had 2 snow days in a row, the first 2 days back.
Nice.
Which is one of the things that has just lost all of its fun with COVID. It's just online now. It's I hate it with every bone in my body. So that sucked. But then Friday we went into the school and it was really weird. I got a locker, which I hadn't had since grade 8. And yeah, it was just a lot different from my normal, like with last year and the last semester. And I had gym class at the end of the day, which I'm not a fan of. So.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I could have planned it so much better. Could have just done it online or like personal fitness or something.
But you didn't. Gym class was full last year, so you had to take it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why she's got to take it now.
I'm taking it now, so I don't have to do it later.
Gotcha.
So that's your pick in your pan?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Quinn?
To add on to the snow day thing, when I have kids and they're like, it's snow day, I'll be like, back in my day, we didn't have to do online school for a snow day. We basically had a PE day.
Until COVID hit and changed it all.
Yeah.
Do you have a pick or pan? You said something new was coming out in League of Legends. Wasn't there like a new warrior?
A new warrior, yeah.
A champion.
Champion.
Renata Glask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're excited about that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You support. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, no.
Not really.
Okay, we're good. Here you go.
I have to work tomorrow.
Oh, she's got to work tomorrow. She's upset.
9 till 1.
Oh.
Poor kiddo.
4 hours. Okay.
Grocery store.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that is our show for the week, ladies and gentlemen, or for the month, actually. If you would please give us a review on iTunes, Google, Stitcher, wherever it is you listen to the show. You can always find us at Epically Geeky, where you can find the rest of the shows that we do, including the Marginally Geeky Show, Creatively Geeky, and Sustainably Geeky. You can find us on all the social media at Epically Geeky as well. Where can we find you online, Shaun?
Usually screwing around on Wikipedia and your favorite broken toy on Instagram.
Catherine, do you realize that's how he signs off to every episode, is screwing around with Wikipedia?
Yes, and I was told to say that I fix his Wikipedia pages.
Nicely done. Catherine, you do not have to give out social media if you don't want to. And
I'm not going to.
Good deal. Because you know what? We have adults that are the same way. Chris, where can we find you online?
All the shows you mentioned, and at Rose and Hummingbird. I also have a private account. We're doing kitchen renos, so if you want to put a request in at Victorian Botanical, we'll see how that goes.
Good deal. Quinn.
Quinn doesn't have social media.
No social media.
None. No. Where's Quinn?
Logan.
Just here.
I mean,
You don't have to share it if you don't want to.
you can try and find it. You can all of them are private. So if you try and follow me, I'm gonna delete it because I don't know who you are.
Good deal.
There you go.
Stalker. And as always, you can find me online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.